Rob Kardashian is back on television and back with his baby mama, Blac Chyna. And it seems like Blac Chyna is trying to rush things and push this narrative that she's different now because she's sober. But Rob is trying to take it slow because he's finally getting used to public life again. Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater are not doing well. There are so many different reports saying that they are over with. And I guess at one point they were talking about getting married, but that is off the table.
Has everyone seen by now that Ethan Slater and Ariana Grande are no longer getting married? Is that a surprise to anybody?
The singer David, who's been under investigation for the death of a 14-year-old girl, still hasn't been arrested yet, but an investigator states it's for good reason, because police think David isn't the only person responsible and that he's got friends who participated in the crime. The singer Somber is receiving backlash after responding to a fan that did not like his show. Even though Somber made some good points, he did not address the fact that he had been making inappropriate jokes with teenage girls. Let's get into it. Let's get into Rob Kardashian and Blac Chyna. Welcome back to the Let's Get Into It podcast. Today we're talking about Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater, the David investigation, Somber's PR crisis, and much more. But I want to start off by talking about Rob Kardashian coming back to the Kardashians and getting back with Blac Chyna. I don't know what the family told Rob Kardashian to convince him to come back to TV because I don't think that he should. I mean, maybe this is a hot take, but I feel like it was good for his mental health to get off of the TV screen. And also considering his past with Blac Chyna, when they had a show together, they were violent, they were fighting, yelling at each other. There were reports of domestic violence. So these seem like really bad things for Rob. And of course, Blac Chyna's loving the attention. She posted a photo shoot picture that had nothing to do with Rob on Instagram, but writing in the caption, "This love is forever," tagging Rob Kardashian. Now, of course, they share a daughter, Dream Kardashian, and they have a relationship co-parenting their daughter. So there's some communication there, but I really just thought it was like, drop-offs and that was about it. I know that Khloe's a big part of Dream's life, probably to help out Rob because he's been doing it on his own for so many years. But people in the comments are loving it. And you know what? Maybe this is good for him. I mean, she has been sober for several years now. It seems like they're both in much better places emotionally, and Angela, Blac Chyna, is sober. I don't care what no one says. I love her growth and she's matured so much. Another person said, "This is the healed version of their love. No ambition, no agenda, no strategy, just love and family. I'm proud of them."
Y'all, what type of voodoo did fucking Kylie start right now? Like, first we get the King Kylie era, and then the next day, Blac Chyna is posting Rob talking about some true love forever or somewhere that shit. Like, bro, what? Rob and Blac Chyna?
To give you guys some history, Blac Chyna and Rob got engaged in 2016 and had their daughter Dream, but by 2017, their relationship was over. Blac Chyna went on to sue the Kardashian family, Kris, Kim, Khloe, and Kylie for defamation, seeking over $100 million in damages. This was because Blac Chyna felt like she could have made way more money if her show, Rob and Chyna, was continued on E, but nobody wanted to see this show continue, especially because they had broken up, and when they were together, they were fighting and violently screaming at each other. Now, I congratulate Blac Chyna on getting sober. I think that's great for her, and she says she's not the woman she used to be after being 3 years sober. And you know what? I believe it, especially because it does seem like she was wrapped into some drinking and maybe some other things. But as soon as this Instagram picture Blac Chyna posted started to trend, immediately some sources came to TMZ and said, "No way, Blac Chyna and Rob are not together." So why would Blac Chyna be trying to gaslight the world that she's with Rob, but sources are saying that they're not together?
Rob Kardashian is denying that him and Blac Chyna are actually back together. Well, not him, but sources close to him saying it's just not true. While Blac Chyna, on the other hand, is saying we're trying to work things out. I want more kids, and I'd rather have them with Rob than Tyga. She also mentioned that Rob is her person, that he's funny, but a lot has happened between the two of them since 2016.
Well, she buckled down. She spoke at an expo, and it looks like she responded to a question about her and Rob being back on, and she said it's not as straightforward as it seems to be, that they're both healing and going with the flow, whatever that means, and that if it's in God's will, then it will be. Blac Chyna is totally gushing over Rob in the clip too, talking about how funny he is and ultimately calling her his person.
We're healing. Oh my God, I love it. And we're communicating. And we're just going with the flow. And if God be, then it will be something.
Somebody quoted her saying, "We're healing, amen." Somebody else said that Blac Chyna is playing chess. She wants that Kardashian boy. What do you guys think of these two getting back together? Let's get into Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater. Now, I actually don't want this to be true. I don't want to see these two break up, especially after everything they lost to get together. But there are so many different articles saying that Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater are over. I don't know what opened the floodgates and why all these sources are talking now. This person says that Ariana and Ethan have been on and off for most of the year. He chose not to attend the VMAs with her because they had had an argument just days before, but they made up soon after. They've been running both hot and cold with each other. You guys may remember that last month on September 28th, I got an anonymous tip that they saw Ethan and Ariana holding hands and they had seemed happy together. So maybe they were in an on period then. But whatever's happening now is way more dramatic than what we've ever seen, because there are articles saying that there was a wedding on the way and now the wedding talks are over.
Has everyone seen by now that Ethan Slater and Ariana Grande are no longer getting married? Is that a surprise to anybody?
The insider believes that Ariana and Ethan will keep it together for now, at least until after Wicked for Good is done. They noted that the relationship is unhealthy for both, so it's unlikely they'll be together in the long run. A second source confirmed that the couple are having issues behind the scene. The infatuation has worn off some of the novelty, so they're having to decide what's left. Maybe she sees something that goes beyond the crush, but if there's nothing more than what there was, it won't last. I mean, what happens when Ariana Grande decides to, stop being Glinda? Ethan has also been interested in having a relationship with his child, which I could have called that. He probably was so distracted by Wicked before and thought, you know what, Lily will take care of the baby, his high school sweetheart. But now he probably feels regretful of this because he's working on his relationship with his ex-wife and trying to be a father to his child. So, I could see him probably feeling a little bit guilty now. Ethan loves Ariana, but he's drowning in the circus of her life. He's used to a controlled Broadway stage, not sold out arenas, screaming for every move. Even when he's home, he's mentally halfway through the tour or rehearsals. It's exhausting just watching him trying to keep up. Here's one of those headlines talking about wedding plans, which, where did that come from? The couple, who have not been photographed together in several months, are said to be struggling from their personal drama. Supposedly, they've had so many issues that they called off their plans to marry, which, when would she even have the time to go and get married? At one point, they discussed marriage, but that's no longer on the table. They fell head over heels in love when they first hooked up, but those days are over. We're not in Emerald City anymore. But yeah, people are kind of embracing this breakup. I don't know how to feel about it. I feel like they've lost so much. I want to see them stay together, but people are liking by the masses. 400,000 likes on this post, writing, "Ariana Grande is so real for dumping Ethan Slater as the Wicked era comes to an end. Welcome back, Queen. So glad you've awoken from your Glinda fever dream. Go grab your quick tan and let's get back to business." This person says that the pictures of Ariana are disturbing. She has visible bones that are just covered by I don't even want to get into that right now. Such a strange looking small people, these two. About Ariana and Ethan, it's no surprise that she lost interest when the guy is fully hers. He should see if his wife would consider taking him back. Somebody said that's not going to happen. Somebody else said, I believe his wife taking him back was a joke. I could maybe see Lily J taking him back just because they've been together since high school. They have pretty much a newborn, like a 1-year-old baby together. Maybe she would allow it. What do you guys think? If you were Lily J, would you? The forecast says that cuffing season pressure is rolling in, nostalgia clouds over an ex, gusty texts from a situationship, and a light you up drizzle. In that kind of weather, there's only one clear spot: Field, F-E-E-L-D, pronounced like field. Field is a connections app for clear talk, for curiosity, radical honesty. Say what you want as you know it today. Not sure yet? Say that too. The community meets you where you are. You're able to express yourself on this dating app. What makes Field different is that there's no gatekeeping, no scoring, no nudging, no penalties for exploring. You can change here. In fact, 62% of members evolve their sexuality, interests, or desires in their first year. If you're looking for friends, not dates, there's a filter for that. You could filter by desire and find real platonic connection. And if you guys are like me and you are over that swipe culture, you don't need to worry about that. Download Field on the App Store or Google Play. Remember, it's F-E-E-L-D. And remember, have fun. Starting a business can feel like you're working every job position on your own. I'm talking about site design, you've got payments, shipping, returns, marketing. It's a lot. That's why so many brands pick their built-in business partner as Shopify. Shopify powers millions of businesses and 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from Mattel and Gymshark to brands launching this week. And if you are starting a store, you can get started very quickly because there are a bunch of templates that you could select from and customize to make them your own. And if you're ready to go, you could actually use Shopify to go and run email and social media marketing campaigns. I think the best part is that Shopify is your commerce expert. I mean, from end-to-end inventory, they're handling shipping, international shipping, returns, analytics, payments, all in one place. All those things that I would have no idea how to do. If you want to see less carts being abandoned, it's time for you to head over to Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/Sloan. Go to shopify.com/Sloan. Again, that is shopify.com/Sloan. And enjoy this episode. Let's get into the David investigation. I have a good feeling we're going to hear some news in the David investigation and there's going to be an arrest. But what I'm suspecting is that it's not just one arrest. It's going to be a group of arrests because there are several people who were aware of what had been happening. And there's also reports of this being some sadistic thing, like some sacrifice of some sort, that this 14-year-old girl Celeste was brutally taken in purpose of something sinister. Let me introduce you guys to Neo, the last person to drive David's Tesla, the same Tesla that had Celeste in it. This is Neo. There are plenty of social media pictures of David and him together. He would describe himself as David's personal assistant. We also have pictures from Discord and different platforms where you could see that Neo was in calls with Celeste, so fully aware of who she is. Even though Neo has unfollowed David, it's pretty clear that they were incredibly close, and I feel like he's going to be implicated. It does seem like David and Neo have an interesting relationship. Neo would leave comments like, "I'm never letting go, you're always beautiful, David," and "healed" on his pages. Some suspected that him and David had some kind of relationship, and David would even depict him in some of his artwork he'd post on social media. Neo even commented to his feature in this video writing, "Senpai." Senpai is like a crush in anime culture, and so the fact that he would comment on this video writing that kind of alludes to their very close relationship. I mean, did Neo just get rid of Celeste because he was threatened? Now, this investigator named Steve, who has been on the case better than police, it looks like he's alluding to the fact that Neo may have been the last person to drive at the Tesla in question. Based on the photo David posted on his Instagram, Neo was with him at his home on July 30th. According to Steve, the investigator, the video has been obtained and was recorded on July 29th. Allegedly, this is the same day the Tesla was last moved. Neo did respond to this situation on social media, writing, "I mean, yeah, eventually I'm gonna say something, but I kind of hate forcing myself into solitude because people on the internet assume the worst in people and will make up legit anything out of nothing. So I'll eventually say some when I'm ready to. Love all the real people that have been kind to me. Don't make false assumptions." People were criticizing him, saying he's saying, like, people are saying on the internet, they'll make up anything out of nothing. But there was a dead child in the trunk of this car, and you're possibly the last person who was driving the car. Main character syndrome, the lot of them. That's what it takes to dump the body of a girl you supposedly loved into a trunk and not even have the decency to pay for her funeral.
I definitely know who moved that Tesla on that late July before they went on tour. I can't say who the person, and I don't mean I can't say for, I mean, but I don't know who exactly was in that the house because it's just a report, but there's video, but you can't make a person out. But somebody was in the house, and being that there's only one key, it's like, okay, who had access at that time? So is it the same person that moved the Tesla? Was another last part of the plan about to go in motion as far as getting rid of her body?
Here's a clip of Steve the investigator talking about when he believed that the car was left in the Hollywood Hills home.
Do you have the precise date of when that car, the one with the Tesla, with Celeste body inside, when it was left there? Do you know the specific date of when it was left in Hollywood Hills?
I believe so. I believe it, late July. Late July.
What's also interesting is that Steve alluded to the fact that the Tesla was moved pretty much like right when the tour bus pulled up. Like the Tesla was moved onto the street and they all got onto the tour bus and dipped.
The time the Tesla was left there, he literally immediately started the tour. There was a tour bus that was leased, and I'll tell you that Tesla was moved and literally a bus departed for tour.
There are also new reports that Celeste wasn't just at David's home, but there were also two rental properties about a mile apart in the Hollywood Hills. There are rumors that she was killed and her body was dismembered at one of these properties. Oh, like a little prayer, please. The thing is that nobody knows where David is right now. Not his management, not his friends, probably only his attorney, Blair Burke. This is what Steve has to say.
Do you have any indication about where David is right now?
I don't. I have no idea. And it's kind of bizarre because his group has stayed so silent, what's left of his group, I guess. And I'm not even sure the conversations that the owner did have with his management in breaking that lease. I'm not even 100% sure his management knows at this time where he's at. I think his attorney might be the only one, and his parents.
Let's get into Somber. Somber has recently been one of my favorite artists. He's like 20 years old, he's new on the scene, and he's really quirky and like unusual, and a lot of young people like him. But recently he responded to a critic on TikTok. I actually made a video on TikTok about this. It's got like 1.5 million views. So I was like, you know what? Let's talk about this on the podcast. Now, this woman, Meg, who you're going to hear from in a moment, posted an 8-minute long video. We're not going to watch the whole 8-minute video, but she went to the anthem in Washington, D.C. Shout out D.C., shout out Virginia. And she said, it was the worst experience of her life, which I'm like, if this is the worst experience of your life, I would love to have your life because what the hell? Anyways, she went on to complain about some valid things when it comes to Somber and how he interacted with very young kids, saying that there were weird moments of him, I guess, barking at them. Like some people, the word daddy was being thrown around. She did not have fun.
First 2 minutes he's on stage, he makes a 6-7 joke. I'm not even kidding you. And all the tweens, I've never had such immediate buyer's remorse in my life. Like, I left early. I didn't even hear my favorite music. He proceeds to make a bunch of niche meme references for like the 12 to 16-year-old age range group. And I only understand them because I'm chronically online, but every other adult in the room, including my boyfriend, is like, why is he speaking in tongue? Like, what is he saying right now?
I mean, the thing you see is like he just turned 20 years old. So he's kind of in that age group too, where like the brain rot is what they talk about.
Just ridiculous to hear out loud. Like it was like brain rot on stage. 30 minutes in, he cuts all the music and he's like, we're now gonna have the Somber dating show. Raise your hand and come on up on stage if you want to call your toxic ex. Make sure it's toxic and make sure there's somebody who's gonna pick up. Again, all the tweens.
That's kind of weird too. I mean, can you imagine like calling people up and having them call their toxic ex? That's so weird.
We then proceeded to watch 3 tweens go on stage and call their ex. And then Somber's on the mic like, clock it, bro, clock it, bro. Oh, chill out, bro, chill out, bro. I've never had such secondhand embarrassment for someone. He would make like super niche references to like 13-year-olds, but then he would also say like super vulgar stuff about like getting his dick sucked. And it was like, so you know your audience is clearly 13, yet here you are. Okay. There was a moment in between songs where he literally just randomly went, bark for me, and you hear the arena.
Not the bark for me. This does sound weird. I'd probably be a little bit taken back. Taken back.
Of 13, 14, 15-year-old girls start barking, and then immediately followed up with, yeah, I'm daddy. That, and he wasn't even a good performer. Genuinely, it sounded bad. Like he said he had bronchitis. it seemed like that wasn't the only issue going on. And I get on TikTok and I'm seeing all these kids posting these videos. Oh my God, this must be how my mom felt. This is my generation's David Bowie. I saw a TikTok from the Anthem DC, the show I was at, where a girl's like recording it and it's like, the kids are gonna be all right. No! No, cut that. Absolutely never in my life have I felt so much rage. Not even during it. Like, I felt rage during it, but seeing the aftermath on TikTok and seeing it be like, he's the hottest. You guys need better role models. You guys need better sex symbols. I'm so sorry. Slender Man, we're picking him? We're picking the weird dancing dude?
Somber is 6'7", which is very tall, and he makes jokes about it all the time, but there's a little, like, shade here. I think it's unnecessary, like the body shaming, the Slender Man. I mean, clearly she's very passionate about this. Okay, Meg. Like, and that was an 8-minute long video. We just put in some of the highlights. Vintage teen behavior to defend themselves with some valid points, but not acknowledging the fair criticism that some of his performance was not age appropriate. I tried to watch the video and I couldn't make it past 90 seconds of her self-absorbed rambling, which included complaints that she had to stand in line in the rain, then get her ID checked by a doorman. I don't know why a 25-year-old is going to concerts instead of being put on an iceberg with a harpoon and floating off into the sunset. Don't know what that means, but I definitely don't want to do that. Iceberg, please no. But the situation got way worse for Somber when he decided to respond to this particular person. This video has millions and millions of views, and I feel like it is a PR mistake. It's not a very long one. It's not as long as Megan's, so let's go ahead and watch it.
I thought I was chronically online, but it's just come to my attention that there's a TikTok drama going around because a 25-year-old attended my concert and was basically complaining that there were too many tweens there. I was making too many brain rot jokes, and she just thought it was a cringe concert. And also she was body shaming me, and it's kind of started a massive body shaming hate train directed towards me on a lot of videos of me on the internet right now, which is, I totally respect people having opinions, but I am a 20-year-old artist, freshly 20. And if you're 25 years old and you're going to come to my concert and not expect people younger than you to be there when I, the artist, am 5 years younger than you, it's just a skill issue. I mean, also, like, the jokes thing, like, you had to have known about my online presence before coming to my concert. I mean, anyone who knows me knows I've never uttered a serious word in my life. And also, I make jokes for 5 minutes of the concert, and the rest is music. Like, live a little, enjoy life. Every age, sex, sexuality, gender, race, everyone is welcome at my concert, and I mean everyone. You guys need to find problematic people to hate on because I am just existing. Also, I'm just going to give a quick tutorial. Also, I just remembered that I had a fever and bronchitis at the show she went to, but the show goes on.
Like I said, I made a video about this on TikTok. Let's go ahead and see what people are saying in my comment section. He's literally immature, to be honest. Your stage presence can't be 50% memes. Half the stuff I see on social media about Somber is jokes and nothing to do with his music. He asked them to bark and then call them good girls. He's 20 and they are tweens. He seems so annoying, somebody said. Why is he talking about being 25 like it's the new 50? He told the audience of children to bark for him. Y'all keep forgetting the part where she said he was making sexual jokes to a room of minors, and he just skipped over that in his response. God forbid somebody criticizes a show they paid to see. He needs a PR manager because that response was not it. And finally, the way that he kept saying how she's 25 as if that's so old. Weirdo. Now, I like Somber and his music, but I don't know. I don't think that maybe responding all of the time is great for not only his mental health, but also his image, because people are going to, respond to every single sentence he says and really analyze it. And the performance sounds a little bit kooky, so maybe he could take some tips.
Somber should have never posted a response to that girl's video. His response was terrible. He should have just said, if he had to respond, right? If it was bothering him that bad, which it clearly was, he should have just said, stop body shaming me. Stop sending that girl death threats. My concerts are open for everyone. Everyone is welcome, but I understand everyone may not like my concerts. For him to get on the internet and tell her she needs to touch grass, that she's too old for his shows, that this is a skills issue because she should have known his audience. Huh?
Let's get into Hailey Bieber and Selena Gomez. I really thought after Selena's wedding that we would be done between this feud with Haley and Selena. They're both married and moved on. But I think that this feud has graduated from like Justin Bieber because he's kind of out of the picture. He doesn't go to events. So we don't really like see much of him besides his Instagram, which I don't even see much of because he blocked me. But I think that this feud has graduated to a corporate like competitive thing. Like now that Rhode is in Sephora and Rare Beauty is there as well, I think that there's some tension between their brands, if that makes sense. Hailey Bieber says there's no beef between herself and Selena. After all, she's got no reason to be competitive because Selena doesn't inspire her whatsoever. In an interview with the Wall Street Journal, Hailey admitted that it's annoying that her fans try to compare the two and put them in a competition. Her publicist was trying to stop her from answering certain questions, but Hailey could not help herself. Now, Hailey, after that interview went live, tried to backtrack everything and say that she did not throw shade to Selena, that she wasn't referring to Selena. She was talking about all of the brands in Sephora, that they're all beneath her, which includes Selena, but she's not talking about just Selena. Everybody thought that Hailey was shading Selena by calling her uninspiring, but the sources say that's not the truth, which I think Hailey's just trying to save face.
Did Hailey Bieber just purposely reignite her feud with Selena Gomez? Interviewer asked if she was nervous that people were going to compare Rhode to Rare Beauty when she entered Sephora. Then the interviewer stated before she can respond, a publicist sitting nearby tells her to skip the question. But Hailey answers, and at first it's mature. She says, "It's always annoying being pitted against other people. I didn't ask for that," which agreed. When people want to see you in a certain way and they've made up a story about you in their minds, it's not up to you to change that, which is a very mature way to respond. Unfortunately, Hailey did not stop there. "I think there is space for everybody. I don't feel competitive with people I'm not inspired by." Whether Hailey was throwing shade 2 years ago at this TikTok that blew up their drama, she 100% did in that interview.
Selena responded her own way by posting an Instagram story for like 30 seconds saying to leave that girl alone. Just leave that girl alone. She could say whatever she wants. Doesn't affect my life whatsoever. It's just about relevance, not intelligence. Be kind, off-brand inspired me. There's room for everyone and hopefully we can all stop. So kind of shady back to her saying like there's room for everyone to, to... I guess that she's inspired by people. It's not about relevance. It's intelligence. So I just wonder what was going through Selena's mind. Like, was she sitting there talking to Benny about this and just decided to respond? Because the response just made everything kind of worse.
When people were asking Selena Gomez why she didn't invite Francia, the girl who kindly gave her a kidney, to her wedding, she had nothing to say. Literally cricket from Selena Gomez about this matter. But then when Hailey Bieber is asked whether she feels competition with other brands at Sephora, and Hailey makes some generic comment about how she's not inspired by the other brands at Sephora, which could include Fenty Beauty, Summer Fridays, and so on, Selena pipes up and makes a wholly unnecessary statement, which was very Britney Spears-like in more ways than one. "Just leave the girl alone. It doesn't affect my life whatsoever. It's just about relevance, not intelligence. Be kind." Imagine having the temerity to instruct others to be kind after you've just issued a barely decipherable shady statement.
This comment says, heavy on Team Hailey forever. Selena's a professional victim. And Selena didn't even address the issue of her organ donor, but she rushes off to talk about Hailey and then promote her flop music. It's a very obvious pattern. Selena was always the problem. Free Hailey, somebody said. And I'm tired at this point. Anytime a hate train for Hailey starts, I have anxiety.
Goes to Selena Gomez fans again, reading into every little thing Hailey Bieber says. She can't say anything without you guys thinking it is about Selena Gomez. And also, who the cares if she's not inspired by Selena? Why would she be inspired by her husband's ex-girlfriend? The interviewer who brought up Selena was definitely messy for that. But since she got asked about Selena earlier in the article, you guys just assume that every answer is about her? I cannot. Team Hailey forever.
I need to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think the feud really goes back to JB still, or do you think the brands are kind of continuing it? I feel like them being at Sephora just makes it super awkward. Let's get into Jennifer Lopez. J-Lo is doing what she does best. She's talking a lot, and she's getting herself in trouble at Howard Stern's by talking about her ex-husband in a way. I mean, she said, like, generally she's never been truly loved by any of her exes, and one of her exes is speaking out. But before we get to what he's saying about her, let's look at the clip.
Do you think you've truly been loved?
No.
No. And do you think you really have experienced loving someone?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
And when you can't get that love back,
what I learned, it's not that I'm not lovable.
We do have this edited to help with copyright, but Interesting that she says she's never felt loved. I mean, if you're going to talk about professional victim, don't get me started.
That they're not capable.
They can't love.
They don't have it in them.
They have
They
no-
need to appreciate the little person inside of
They
them.
have
They
little
need to
to
love
give.
them. Yeah.
You've been in a relationship with
And
people.
they gave me what they had.
Right, but
They
it's
gave
not
me
enough.
all of it. Every time.
But it's this much. It's a
All the
little bit.
rings, all the things I could ever want.
Right.
They tried to give me the houses, the rings, the marriage, all of it. But
They didn't love you.
they didn't.
I mean, that's like refreshing, that part of her talking about how like the rings and the money and things don't really matter in the grand scheme of things, which is, I think, valid for anyone who, I don't think you could really buy someone's love. This comment reads, it's everyone else's fault. It's you, JLo, not them. And maybe it's not them and it's her. Let's talk about her ex-husband who's now speaking out. Oh, Johnny actually claims that he was cheated on by JLo with Diddy, of all people. He wrote, "Stop putting us down," to JLo. "Stop putting me down with your victim card. The problem, it's not us, not me. The problem, it's you. You're the one who couldn't keep it in your pants. You have been loved a few times. You've married 4 times and have had countless relationships in between. You have had good relationships. Me, for example. He is shady. I was in love with you. I even moved out of my state, leaving my job, my family and friends behind to support you. I loved you, to protect you, and care for you." Sounds like he misses her. Does he want another date? "I'm an amazing, loving person, a great human being, honest and faithful to you, never lied, never misbehaved, never cheated on you. I was too good for you. I'm too good of a man for you." Whose side are you guys on, JLo or on Johnny? I kind of feel like Johnny wants another date. Let's get into Kim Kardashian. Something about her new underwear with the hair just makes me so uncomfortable. It gives me like the heebie-jeebies. I don't know why, and I'm not like hating on what, the body does, but something about it being on like fabric just feels different. Here's a clip of Kim promoting her new product.
How funny are these Merkins, you guys? We have different colors, different hair. This is insane. Skims, baby.
Somebody said that Kim knew that it would get attention. That's why she did it. She's not shocked. It's calculated. She knew what she was doing. And the people call them talentless. They have literally figured out the whole internet and media. So, I mean, there's some people who maybe are supporting it. They're going to go get it. Are you? I mean, it looks like y'all did because they sold out. And maybe they didn't make many because it is such a weird product. It's more for the headlines than it is to actually sell like thousands of them. But selling out, ugh. Well, if I see them around, I guess you'll notice. Like, do you show it? Like, when you're wearing something, do you show it? Is it part of the outfit?
The lingerie this week that everyone's talking about, Kim Kardashian's Merkin. Have you seen it?
Let me tell you something about Kim Kardashian, all the Kardashians. I think they really understand pop culture, and I think that's what makes them successful because we are all waiting to buy something from them. Maybe they haven't invented it yet, but I truly believe that they will. And when they do, we'll all buy it. And I think that's brilliant.
You guys know that Kim is still working on her law degree, and it looks like she recently filed a lawsuit. Kim claims that her patent is being violated, so she's suing a bunch of people who are making Skims lookalikes. Skims wants to block the vendors from continuing to hang their Skims lookalike out for sale, and they want all the profits those companies have already made. The fact that Skims is valued at $4 billion and they're still going to get all of this money just shows you that a Kardashian is running it. Let's get into Britney Spears. I'm feeling so bad for Britney Spears this week because she's dealing with her ex-husband's book rolling out and all of the drama that's coming with it. So Kevin Federline is claiming that Britney's wicked little sister, Jamie Lynn, wrote him a message. This is what Jamie wrote to Kevin. Honestly, this makes me want to cry because I feel for these boys so much. I'm her little sister by 10 years. I can't imagine what her actual children must feel at times, but I'm familiar with the feeling of being a dinghy trying to survive in a wave caused by another ship. Feeling like you have to rescue yourself. I always wanted her to get better, especially for the boys. Jamie Lynn told Victoria that she started to resent Britney for the way that she treated Sean Preston and Jaden James, and blasted her big sister for being incapable of being accountable. Kevin says the message began that Jaden sent me the sweetest thing about getting his piano, and it made my heart so happy to hear him happy. I know I've said it many times, but it's worth repeating. I'm thankful The boys have had y'all to raise them and be well-mannered and appreciative and kind boys. Any parent who actually raised their children knows that raising kids is the toughest job on earth. So, like, Jamie Lynn's trying to credit other people, I guess, credit Kevin in particular for raising these kids, despite, I guess, what he's saying and she's saying that Brittany was disruptive. This comment reads, well, if Brittany was never going to change her mind about talking to her sister again, it probably won't happen now. In other news, Britney Spears claims that she's suffering from brain damage. She wrote in a very long caption, I do feel like my wings were taken away, and brain damage happened to me a long time ago, 100%. I have, of course, moved on from that troubling time in my life, and I'm blessed to be alive. She also said something really interesting. I had a traumatic experience, as some of you know, at the end of my book, where for 4 months I no longer had my private door and was illegally forced to not use my feet or my body to go anywhere. Which is interesting. Like, she's claiming she was like pretty much bedbound at one of these facilities when she was in the conservatorship. Britney's still healing from what she went through, so shame on Kevin Federline for putting this book out for an easy cash grab at the expense of Britney and their children. Let's get into Saweetie. Now, Saweetie is a rapper who's now starting to enter the courtroom. I don't know if she's going to hire Kim Kardashian, but she is going to hire somebody to go and defend herself against some gossip bloggers. Kind of reminds me of what happened between Tasha K and Cardi B, but this blogger online isn't really a blogger. They just became a blogger to expose Saweetie because at one point they were working closely with Saweetie, which is how they've got all these receipts to go and share with the world. This is probably like a celebrity's worst nightmare. Her ex-road manager claims that Saweetie is using drugs and also is an escort. Saweetie wrote that the recent accusations about me are false, defamatory, and deeply disturbing. These claims misrepresent the facts and are solely aimed to damage my reputation. This person never managed me. She was simply introduced to me by my family. Ooh, you need to get some new family. Her motives are now obvious. I'll let the lawyers take it from here. Maybach May, the person who was this road manager, but Saweetie claims it's not the road manager, replied by saying, hey, Saweetie, I see you playing the internet games on Beyonce Internet Child. Let me know how you want to play this. I'm either going to receive my money from you or I can start addressing some of them rumors with TMZ, which she probably doesn't want that to happen. She writes, I try to be nice. Nice don't get you nowhere. So Maybach May wants to get her money, and I wonder how much she claims that she owes her. Cocaine, witchcraft, and liquor is one hell of a mix. Send me my bread, home wrecker. I want to make one thing clear, she writes. I booked her for an appearance to visit the Chelsea Stadium and support the soccer team. Instead of paying me, she fell in love with the client and told him not to pay me. I was the road manager and getting her the deals, so she wants her money for that. Now, there are some people who believe Miss Maybach because they say that Saweetie lives a very extravagant lifestyle, which doesn't really add up with her music because she's not that popular to be living this way.
Oh my God, Saweetie's an escort and water is wet. What? The sky is blue, grass is green. What the are we talking about right now? What are we talking about? I've literally been told y'all that all the female rappers are escorts. Like, I said this so many times. Go look at the video. This is not new information.
And if you're still surprised by this Saweetie situation, remember that the blind item breakdowns have been talking about this and alluding to the fact that she has been doing this on the side, kind of like a yacht girl, which a lot of people in Hollywood are supposedly doing the same thing, but this has been known information.
Saweetie is allegedly a yacht girl who makes far more money from yachting than she does from her music career. And according to this blind item, she allegedly has a substance abuse problem that is making her messy and causing her to lose yachting clients. And the blind item reads, this A-minus list Nepo baby, who's a rapper, singer, niece, cousin, and granddaughter of famous names, earns way more from yachting each week than from her actual music. But her substance habit has gotten out of control, and the messiness is driving clients away fast.
This comment reads, the entire industry is. If you're not a multi-billionaire, they're all tricking for endorsements, awards, recognition, and money. They don't get fame unless they run with the program. Let's get into Brandy. Lately, Brandy's been out and performing, but there was a moment on stage that caught everyone's attention because she abruptly stopped performing. I don't know if she was fed up with the mic or what was going on here. You could hear her say, "Give me 1 second, y'all, I gotta get and she walks off stage. She comes back to go and finish, but it was a weird moment that went unexplained. See, she just turned around and walked right off, like, bye. People were being savages when it came to Brandy. They were not being nice, which, you know what, you gotta have a little bit, like, some sympathy for these people. I mean, you saw what happened to Lola Young. This comment reads, Taco Bell will do you like that. Nah, she got spooked. See how you did a U-turn? Something spooked her. Brandy, who the heck would go pay to see her to begin with? Brandy hasn't been relevant since 1999. She got sick and went straight down to the sound person? Oh, okay. And she could have said something. After the performance, there was a line of people at customer service filing complaints because Brandy didn't finish the show.
Everybody is filling out papers and complaining because they didn't complete the show how they were supposed to. They want their money back.
Because there are so many people upset, Brandy did issue a statement. We're not going to read it verbatim, but she apologizes and thanks her sister Monica for stepping up and handling the performance because she claims that she was dehydrated and fell very ill. She also said that the show is very technical and unfortunately it was impossible to fully connect sonically with the production. So was she sick or were there tech issues? Either way, we're wishing Brandy well. This comment reads, Brandy did the right thing. She wasn't feeling well and she was going to faint. Dehydration is nothing to play with. I pray that she feels better soon. And she got sick. Y'all are so inconsiderate. Let's get into Victoria Beckham. Victoria Beckham is so fascinating to me. I always see like video clips from her back in 2007 in her reality show, like on my TikTok, and she's so hilarious. But I was once upon a time a young gay boy and I watched the Spice Girls. Shocking, right? Well, she was talking about a comeback in a recent podcast interview, and Victoria, posh, she admits that she doesn't think she could sing anymore and says that she was never great to begin with, which is kind of true. I mean, I don't want to be a hater, but out of everyone in the group, she was probably the weakest link, which is why she was like posh and didn't really do too much.
I went to see Oasis
recently.
Yeah,
and you posted that thing saying, "Oh, I'm getting ideas."
It's tempting. It would be tempting, but could I take on a world tour? No, I can't. I have a job, but the idea.
Sphere.
Oh my God, the Sphere is amazing. Well, you've been to
many times.
I've heard.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Have you guys been to the Sphere? Comment below if you have.
Right.
So good.
How good would the Spice Girls be?
Yes. Okay. So you're this is maybe a thought.
I love the idea of
Yes.
it. I mean, I don't know if I could even still sing. I mean, I was never that great.
Somebody said, I don't care if she can't sing. I just want to see all 5 of them on stage. Victoria Beckham thought the Spice Girls would fade away, but people would buy tickets more than ever today and continually will for the next 50 years. The Spice Girls will outlast her fashion line. There, I said it and stand by it. Well, if they're all up for it, I know Mel B would be more than excited to do it because she's always trying to get more work. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Let's Get Into It podcast. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below and go watch last week's and the week before and the week after that. And if you guys can rate us on Spotify and Apple Music, wherever you stream, it would really help me. Don't you guys want to help me? But I love you guys all so much. And thank you for just watching. I really appreciate you taking the time to be here. And I'll see you in next week's episode. Bye, guys.